Hi, it's Mrs. Stitches or Sheila. This is my channel about cross stitch, and I live in southwest, mostly western Nova Scotia, and we're in the middle of a big storm. So you might hear the wind and the rain. Yesterday was a gorgeous day, if power goes out, it'll be dark. I'll try and film this before the power goes out. Internet's out right now, so I won't actually be able to, don't know when I'll be able to upload this, but sometime. Get it filmed now. Today is January 26, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 32. So, since I last seen you, I did 24 hours of cross stitch, and I got finishes. I got fully finishes, not finishes, fully finishes. So behind me you can see one. This is a fully finished that I did. This is on a stick of knotweed. So we have lots of knotweed around here. My husband has been working very diligently to eradicate it from our yard because it is quite nasty. We picked some that's just dried up, and it's like bamboo, but it's really, really invasive. You don't want to have knotweed. Never transfer knotweed. If you got knotweed, get rid of it. That's my PSA on knotweed. This is a stitch that my husband gave me for Halloween or for October. I'm just gonna, where did I put the thing? Here. It is by Calico Confectionery, and it's called Halloween Hill, and I think you can find them on Etsy, but I'm not positive on that. He bought it at an L&S at Stitch Bug in Moncton. I changed some of the colors, and I also changed, here, let me just bring it a bit closer. I also changed, they had a different witch down here, so I actually took the witch out of Teresa Kogut's Hello Halloween. There you go. And I changed the colors and just did some fun stuff. I think I also changed some of the words and things like that. So that is my first fully finish. My other fully finish is I made, this is the one I showed you last week. It was a kit, RTO. Oops. RTO Among Black Cats, and I made it into a project bag. So this is some material that my husband had a bolt of. I got tons of it. And so I'm going to be using, you're going to be seeing this material a lot, but it's also on the little hooks there, but it's I really overstitched this, but it's a good project bag. I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. After that, I watched videos on how to make project bags, and my next ones will be a bit different. But for now, that works. Okay. Let's just, why did I leave everything way over there? Ooh, I'm gonna pause for a second. Okay. I do have notes somewhere, and that probably would be a wise thing to do. Are the notes there? No, they're way buried. Sorry, I got a bit of a frog in my throat. Okay, so I wanted to start off with a question, and it's just been kind of bugging me, is why do we call the floss floss? Does anybody know where the word floss comes from? I was going to Google it before I got on, but our internet's down, so I can't do that. So thought I'd just put it out there. And do you call it floss? I think I sometimes call it thread. It was when I first started cross stitching, I thought it was the strangest term. Of course, you can just call them DMC, but I now start calling things floss. But you know, I think of floss as like with your teeth, flossing your teeth, and maybe that floss was named after this floss, and maybe it's a certain weight. I don't know. So I just thought that was kind of a strange thing. So last time I saw you, was on the 12th, and it was right before the 13th. So the first thing I worked on after that was going to be, Friday the 13th. It was going to be Witch's Wheel, which I work on the 13th and the 31st. It's my Halloween stitch. Because it was Friday the 13th, I gave it a good amount of stitching. So let me just take this out of the bag. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is where I was last time you saw it. And this is where I am this time. Like I said, I spent a long time on it. But as you can see, I did a whole bunch over here. I think I did that whole witch over here, this one here. And so I'm getting nearer to halfway done, sort of, but getting there. I had to frog a whole bunch over here. This spider was out of whack. When I got here, I kind of realized things were out of whack. And you could fudge, but it's going to look off, so because it's so symmetrical. So anyways, it's coming along great. I really, really enjoy this. And I enjoy working out. I think I'm going to be right on target for where I want to be. I want to be finishing the final 1,000 stitches in the month of October. So if I start getting close, I think I'm going to leave I'll count them out. If I'm starting to get close, I will just stop doing that on the 13th or 31st. Okay, so that was what I did on the 13th. Then we had 24 hours of cross stitch, was just last weekend. And what I decided to do was I decided to work on 4 projects and 2 hours on each project each day. So I do 8 hours a day for 3 days. Now, my husband can't understand because I stitch all day long. He's like, well, that's no challenge for you. But it's actually surprising when you actually set your timer and sit stitching for that 2 hours and almost not move for that 2 hours, how much you get done. So I was really impressed. I got a total of I wrote it down. Where's my calendar? It was 3,723 stitches in the 24 hours, which is really good because normally I was averaging around 3,000. I think I've sometimes gotten 2,700, sometimes 3,300. So that was great. I was really, really pleased with that. And one of them, I know I was like doing confetti and I only got like 120 stitches in 2 hours, which was super slow. So I will show you them in the order I was stitching them. So I'd start off first with my, it's a Christmas or birthday present for my husband I'm making. I call it Felix, and this is where it was last time you saw it. And this is where I got to this time. I took it, oops, we have magnets stuck together. Come on, guys, let go. Let go. Oh, I think I just, okay, hopefully that's okay. I think it's got its backing. Yes, it's got its backing. Okay. Oh, the trials and tribulations. I'll figure this out one day. But, so this is where I got. So you can see I took it out of the Q snap. I am getting down there. So this, for the uninitiated, each month I am focusing on one finish, which has to have at least 1,000 stitches left. And then I get to do one new start. So this is going to be my February finish. And so I'm trying to get it down to just black down in this corner, and I'm getting there. So right now I got about 4,000 stitches left. So I am getting there. So all in all, the whole thing is looking like this. So right now I'm just color completing, and then I'll have black to do. So, which you probably won't notice a big difference with, but I will. So that's coming along great. And then after that, I worked on another project. So for March, I have another design. I call this one Murder Row, and this is where it was last time you saw it. And this is where it's at now. So this one I have all of this to complete. So right now, it's around 16,000 stitches. So for this month, I wanted to get 8,000 done. It was 24,000, so I was trying to get 8,000 done for this month, 8,000 done next month, and leaving 8,000 in March to finish. Ideally, I'd like to get it down to 4,000, so I'm probably still going to go. I would get about 500 done in 2 hours on this. So I completed all the way down here, and then I started down here too. I think I was like way up there. So I'm going to keep on working in the column and then have just one column left. So it's coming along great. This is a pick-to-pat that we did from a photograph that my husband did at sunrise of four crows on an old pilings of a wharf. So that's pretty cool. That's Murder Row. So then I would work on, I have two Dark Queens I'm working on. One is Dark Queen of the Earth and one is Dark Queen of the Sea. Both of those will be finishes for this year. One, the Dark Queen of the Earth, will be when the sal is done. So I'm working on it as I go. So I will show you it. I didn't work on it during 24 hours cross stitch. I finished it before, but it logically makes sense to put it in now. So this is where I was last time you saw it. And I didn't have much to finish on it. I think I just did it in one of the evenings, but this is where it's at now. So, let me just move this needle minder. These needle minders, these DMC needle minders, they're not very good. They're from DMC and got them at Michael's, and the magnet does not stick very well to them at all. Their magnet was really poor. I replaced the magnets with better magnets, but they're still not very good. So that's my Dark Queen of the Earth, and what I finished off, this was, over here was the last month's thing. So I think we're gonna get choices in the next one, which will be kind of fun, but there you go. That's the Dark Queen of the Earth. She's quite pretty. I think I'm calling her Rosie. And then, for the 24 hours cross stitch, I would work. My third project was Dark Queen of the Sea. So what I'm doing is, because I started the Dark Queen of the Sea late, after the sal has been gone and done for a long time, but somebody on the Facebook put pictures of each of the monthly sal stitches, their finishing pictures. So what I'm doing is, I had already stitched a bunch, but now I'm trying to complete whatever was done for that month. So her name is Fiona, after the hurricane we had. And this month's was all this coral here and the coral down here. And so I'm just gonna curl that up a bit. So I did my own hair conversion for her, and I think her skin is a little bit my own conversion. But that's what I worked on, was all this green seaweed and the coral at the bottom there. So that was mostly in the 24 hours cross stitch that I did that. So I'm very pleased with that. And then those were sort of all kind of getting to my finishes, getting them all prepped. My little reward was, well, it was also because it snowed. So on the start of the 24 hours cross stitch, we got a bunch of snow. So my snow day project is, I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but it is Christmas mousse, which I like to call Christmas. And this is where it was last time you saw it. And so I worked on it on the Friday, and then I worked on all 3 days of it was sort of my reward, because I like sometimes having a paper pattern, because I can just watch whatever I want on my phone, and it's just easier. So got quite a bit done. So I worked a lot up here in this little village. Sorry, I got some hanging threads. Up here in this little village here, I worked a lot. And then I got kind of bored with that, so I started coming down into the mousse here. So I was also down here in the mousse. But there we go. That's my Christmas. So it's a slow stitch, but progress. we're predicted, it's really warm today, so this storm is coming from the south. So it has risen. It's been freezing temperatures and now it's plus 10. But we're supposed to be back to freezing temperatures like right after this, and we're going to get some snow coming up over the next couple of weeks. So it'll come out when it snows, and I may or may not take it out on the 25th. We'll just, oh, that was yesterday. Okay, I didn't take it out on the 25th. By the way, I don't know if I said today's January 26th, 2023. I think I did say. So yeah, it'll come out when it snows, and maybe one of the other times if I haven't had it, it's probably the non-snow months, I'll bring it out on the 25th. That makes sense. Okay. Speaking of weather, I have the other thing I'm doing this year is creating my own temperature charts, and they are going to be monthly ones. So right now I'm working on January's, and then February's going to be a different one. So the funny thing is, and I don't know how I did this, I've always been really, I don't know, if ignorant's a word or just not thoughtful. I've always had a hard time remembering how many days each month has, and I've never actually taken the time or the energy to remember. I've had people teach me tricks and I always forget, and it's just like a mental block. I had it even written down that January has 31 days, but what did I do? I designed 28 days into my design. So now I have to figure out a way to add 3 days. I don't know what I was thinking, but this is my temperature chart for February. And so that center snowflake is got all the days on it, but it's going to have 28. So what I'm planning on doing is, I think it's going to have the year with the additional days. And then it's going to have some other snowflakes and trees around it. So I did a different tree just there with some variegated floss, and I might do some snowflakes. I went through some old patterns, found some more trees. So that's my temperature snowflake. And in it I have all sorts of data. It's got the high, the low, the wind, and what type of day it is. This is probably the least for visibility, or most confusing. In the future it's going to be make more sense. So I might redesign this for the following years, but we'll see. Right now I just have to figure out how to get in the 29th, 30th, and 31st, but I'll work on that. Okay. And then I decided my New Year's start to work on it on the 23rd of every month, if I remember. And so it is pointed fifth by Long Dog Samplers, and I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And so I worked one night on it, and I think I've been having some shoulder issues since the new year. And I've started some exercises, and we went on a road trip, and we actually rode in a vehicle, test driving vehicles, and suddenly my shoulder was better fixed. So it'd been fixed, and then on the 23rd I stitched this and my shoulder started bugging me again. And so I think it's the small count, either I'm tense or something, but this is on 40 count. I'm stitching it 1/2, and this is where I'm at on the pointed fifth. So I did kind of work my way up and then over here and did that. So trying to work I want to get up to, I'm upper, this was a center start, but I really like working from the upper left-hand corner. So now I'm trying to work my way over to the upper left-hand corner. So this will be a bit of a biggie, and it'll probably take me multiple years, if not longer. That's the piece of fabric. So I do like one strand. I am a loop starter, so I do miss doing loop start, but I actually like the way you conserve floss. It's wonderful. So that's pretty cool. I like that, because I am always all about frugal. So, oh, where did that strand go? There's my floss thread strand. Stitching Mommy calls it string sometimes, all sorts of names. So that that is my whips. Let me look at my notes. That's everything. So the 24 hours of cross stitch went really well. It was a little intense to be stitching the solid 2 hours, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I think that I've been trying to, I haven't noted what number my 24 hours of cross stitches have been, but I think it was, I want to say around, I think I'm in double digits. I think it was probably around the 10th or 11th. I should sit down. I know with my injuries that I've had the last 2 winters, that there probably was at least 2 to 4 24 hours I missed due to that. But so this is my calendar that I use. So at the top I have every finish written out, and then I'm kind of deciding on my new starts as I go. So we'll see. I'm still I'm kitting things up as I go too. So I have a couple kitted up right now. I think I have at least 6 kitted up. So I'm kind of thinking, because next month is full coverage February, of starting a full coverage. I have a full coverage mini. Thinking about that and doing it as something really unique on a small count, 25 count, 1/1 full cross. That's what I'm thinking about. So we'll see if I do that or if I just go for a different one that I've been kind of hankering to do. But I'll probably decide that last minute. Like I said, Felix is my finish for next month. So coming up, I will probably be working on my full moon, my moon phase bell pull. And I'll be working a lot on Felix. So as soon as the month starts, whatever I am planning on finish, that is all I work on. So I'm monogamous until it's done, except for my moon phase bell pull. It will, when the full moon happens, or any of the other things, whenever they happen, they will interrupt it. But yeah, so that's about it for me. Like I said, we have a storm right now, and then we're going to be back into some cold weather. That's about it, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to upload this. Hopefully the internet will come back. It could be that there's a power outage where our signal's being sent from. So we get our signal from the French shore and it gets sent across quite some distance. So there could be interruptions anywhere. So, but right now the power stayed on this whole time, so that was great. We've had it flicker once today. I got a bathtub full of water. That's to flush our toilets. So we'll see. The wind's supposed to subside after noon. So right now it is 10:35. So in a couple more hours the wind will start to die down. Right now I think it's supposed to be gusting. It's, I think, a 90 steady gusting to 120-ish or something like that. So it'll be new colors on my temperature chart tonight, so that'll be fun, assuming that I can get the data, that the internet comes back. And that's it for me for rambling. So it's kind of short one. I'm going to throw in a little bit of videotape, so it'll be a little bit longer than what I'm seeing now. But take care, everybody, and I will see you probably in about 2 weeks. Bye.